rose between two thorns.
Thanks, Max. Thanks, Max. Can I have the house lights up, Max? Ladies and gentlemen, good Lord! Is it raining outside? Yes, I thought it might be. Well, good afternoon and welcome. And it's lovely to see you all. Let's find out. Where are you from, sir?
London.
London? I say, but with a rather nice accent. Which part of London?
Northwest.
Northwest London. How very upmarket. And what about you, madam?
Glasgow.
Glasgow. How very upmarket London is. London, welcome. And what about you, madam?
Surrey.
Surrey? Whereabouts in Surrey?
Caterham.
Caterham. Oh, marvellous. And sir, what about you?
Hebrides.
The Hebrides. Yeah. I went there once, it was closed. And what about you, sir? London. Which part of London are you from?
South London.
South London. I drove through. Which part of South London?
Well, just in the south. About.
Right. Do you need to phone a friend or ask the audience? Be more specific if you can.
Well,
I've got to finish at 6, so just...
full of Sutton and Cheam.
Sutton and Cheam. I drove through Sutton only recently, actually. It was lovely. There's a tower block there with a sheet hanging off it. Just said, "Happy 30th birthday, Grandma." Thanks. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a bad area, but even Ethiopia held a rock concert for it recently. It's nice, isn't it? And you've met Steve and I today, and yesterday we've been giving out flyers, and it's lovely to see so many of you here. And I think one of the things we told you was the fact that we don't do this for a living. And over the next hour, we're going to prove that to you. Before coming up to Edinburgh, what seems like a long time ago now, I went to try and get some work, need to get some money, because you don't make money here. I got some work from a friend of mine. He owns a big warehouse, and just a bit of physical work and so on. He had a 6-metre roll of bubble wrap delivered. I said, "Where do you want this?" He said, "Pop it in the corner." 12 hours. Yeah, explain it. So that's right. You get it now. The day after that happened, I actually went for another interview, and they asked you one of those really difficult questions. What do you think is your biggest weakness? And I said, well, to be honest, I think it's my honesty. And they said, well, I don't see that as a weakness. I said, I don't give a fuck what you think. Now, I said, this is the only show you get a sauna thrown in as well, by the way, as you can see. Anyway, Steve, my partner's backstage, and just before coming out, he gave me a note, because I said I was going to talk about him for about 10 minutes, and he just passed me his note and just said, "You can't." Man, if he's intelligent, surely he would know it's spelled with an A, but there you go. Anyway, look, we've got a great show lined up for you this afternoon. We've got some amazing guests. And actually, I'm going to bring out our first guest now. If I said to you, all hail to the ale, and a white wine and soda is a fruit-based cocktail for the ladies, you know who I mean. I know who I mean. Please put your hands together, because here he is now.
Oh, set pointer against Jokovic. I put up my lazy lob. I smash it. Yeah, set point to me. Set point, fantastic. Yeah,
What on earth are you doing?
I'm doing what you said. You said, "Come on," as Andy Murray. So, I've come on as Andy Murray.
You idiot. Andy Murray, the pub landlord. All hail to the ale.
That's Al Murray.
Eh?
That's Al Murray.
Well, who's Andy Murray?
He's a Scottish tennis player.
Eh?
He just won Wimbledon.
No, just...
He's got a mum with a face like a smack dance.
Andy Murray?
Yeah, Andy Murray.
Well, I meant be Al Murray, the pub landlord. You know, the one who hosted the ITV quiz show.
Fact hunt.
Yeah, that's the fella.
Typical of you, Dave. It's absolutely typical.
What?
Well, you're always getting things wrong, aren't you? You're always cocking things up. You never check anything. If you'd come to rehearsals once in a while, you would know what I was going to do. It's always me, isn't it? Digging us out of a hole, or it ends up costing me money, or I end up looking like a tit.
You're just going to have to put a brave face on it. Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Flyerman2. And as you saw from the flyer, this time it's funny, isn't it, Steve? Anyway, in this very room 2 years ago, we did a show called Flyerman. Actually, can I just have a quick show of hands? Anybody actually see the original Flyerman show? There's one, Steve, one.
We can get away with doing the same old shit we did 2 years ago.
Yeah, I never realised. Now, look, in this very room, we performed a show called Flyerman. And it was, well, Steve, tell them what it was about.
It was about 50 minutes, wasn't it, Dave?
No, Steve, tell them really what it was about.
It was about 10 grand.
Steve.
Or All right, well, Dave and I had done some flyering in Edinburgh before, and we wrote and produced a show called Flyerman about flyering shows in Edinburgh as our worldwide acting debut, and Dave here persuaded me to fund it.
And we had lots of fun.
Yes, you did.
So did our audiences. Well, we learnt a lot, actually. We learnt, for instance, that to print 12,000 flyers was perhaps a few too many.
By about 11,000.
We were a big media success, did a lot of radio interviews.
Great face for radio.
A lot of people have stopped me this time and said, well, why weren't you here last August? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very proud to be able to tell you. Last August, I secured us our very own TV series.
You told me it was an exclusive on cable TV.
Yeah, well, it nearly was.
It was Kabul TV.
Yeah, it put us on the map.
Yeah, of Afghanistan.
Anyway, 2 years ago, we learnt pretty early on what makes people laugh.
Yeah, not us.
Our director
When he was so...
said we needed to generate 60 laughs across the show, and we did.
Yeah, I think he was talking about each show, not over the whole run. Typical of you that, Dave. You're always misunderstanding situation. I can't afford for that to happen. I can't afford for this to go wrong, Dave.
Steve, excuse us. Stop going on about money. I told you, if we did what we did 2 years ago, shared a flat like last time, you'd have saved yourself a bloody fortune.
Not a hope.
Why not?
Well, if you remember last time, Dave, 2 years ago, Dave, you hired a flat using my money. It was bloody miles away.
Oh, was that far?
Oh, yes, it was. You told me it was in the new town.
Well, it was.
Yeah, Cumbernauld. 40 miles away from here. And when we did get back there, you wouldn't let me watch what I wanted to on telly.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. We couldn't even agree about that.
Yes, we could.
No, we couldn't. It just used to descend into childish argument.
No, it didn't.
It did.
It didn't.
What are you doing?
It's a flashback. Look, come with us on a flashback, okay? You ready? It's a flashback. Come on, everybody. Everybody. No one's coming, Steve.
Oh, okay. Oh, what a bloody drive that was. The traffic through Falkirk is awful.
Well, let's see what's on telly.
And next on BBC Two, The Natural World.
And now, MasterChef. Here, in the heart of the Serengeti, we see the big cat stalking its prey. As it closes in and is just about to pounce, we hear the frenzied caterwauling
of Prime Minister's Question Time, where the PM stated that it was imperative that all ministers tackle
Theo Walcott as he runs down the right wing, beats the first man and crosses for
a giraffe who has arrived at the waterhole for his daily drink. But the water which he relies on for his family has been tainted with it.
truffle oil in a red wine jus. To follow, Justin is making a pavlova. To start the meringues, he needs to whip
Wayne Rooney on his backside. Webb goes to his top pocket and pulls out.
Harriet Harman, who again was got to her feet and went down
On a wildebeest. Is the occasional
terrine duck breast in a homemade brioche, which
Launches a great ball into the penalty area, where it's met with a powerful
ostrich intent on finding a mate. In his excitement, he attempts to mount
Her Majesty the Queen on a state visit to the USA. Later, Her Majesty met with President Obama in Washington and presented him with a cream horn laced with creme patissiere.
and a 3-match ban, meaning he'll miss the games against Everton, Wigan and
wolves roaming through the forest at night.
Heat to Prestwick Airport.
Wait,
Ridge of high pressure. Meatballs.
Stanchion,
Precipitation. Cocoa.
Van Persie.
How was that for you?
Bloody rubbish, that. Never even did get to see the end of Match of the Day. And you know how much I like sport.
Yeah, watching it.
Oh yeah, at least I don't have to stand on a box to play table tennis. And that's another thing.
What?
Well, last August,
Yeah.
when we were in Kabul, sweating like Ryan Giggs at a family reunion. What else did I do?
Last August?
Yeah, last August.
What happened last August? I mean, it was the Fringe. Anything else happened last? Anything major? No. Sporting? Did anybody think? Olympics. Thank you.
The
Olympics.
The Olympics, yeah, the single most successful event this country's ever staged. And where was I? Chewing my way through horse testicles in Jalalabad.
I told you should have gone for the gravy. But at least it said horse testicles on the packaging. But I suppose the Olympics was pretty amazing, wasn't it? Did you like the Olympics? Is anybody still out there? Sorry, I just thought I'd check. It was pretty amazing, wasn't it? The opening ceremony itself was fantastic. David Beckham.
The Queen,
Oh,
James Bond.
yeah, Rowan Atkinson, all that business, and it was all the, you know.
You saying?
Yeah. Do you know, for a minute there, in the right light, no light, no, and there was all the, we could be heroes just for one day. Yeah.
Anthony Newley, yeah.
But you know, in 1996, Great Britain took 1 gold medal. Last year we took 29. How fantastic is that? But it's not just about the big nations doing that, it's about the smaller nations as well, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Romania
Yeah.
took bronze.
Copper and steel from the Olympic Stadium. And in the sailing, we took gold, the Americans took silver.
And the Somalians took a middle-aged couple from Weymouth.
Someone said to me that they thought there was just too much going on in the stadium. They said, if you could take out one race, which would it be?
The French.
Now, Oscar Pistorius, now he let everybody down, didn't do as well as expected, and this week he's been in court charged with murder. Now, as I understand it, it all hinges around his bathroom door. He wanted a brand new one, but his girlfriend was dead against it.
Always goes well. Fantastic. And of course, Lance Armstrong was stripped of his 7 Tour de France titles.
Yeah, but you say what you like about him, he's still a hero in my book. I mean, I tried riding a bike on drugs once, I went straight into a hedge.
And I missed all of it, thanks to you.
Well, we're here now. And what you don't know, in fact, what you don't know is I have got an amazing guest who's coming to close the show. And when you find out who it is, my friend, you will be on your knees, grovelling with an apology.
Who is it then?
I'll give you a clue. She is a major Scottish singing star. And when she gets here, it will cause a riot.
A riot.
A riot.
A riot in August.
Yep. Yep. 2 years ago when we were here, thanks for that. 2 years ago when we were here, the riots kicked off all over the country. Remember?
There was devastation everywhere.
Yep.
wasn't there? Sutton,
Yes.
£23 million worth of improvements.
Reminds me actually, if you didn't get anything electrical, your 2-year warranty will be about to expire, so you do need to take things back. But what was the cause of it, Steve?
Well, I don't think it's one thing, Dave. I think general economic downturn,
Yeah, unemployment,
youth disaffection.
a lack of money. But you know, a lot of good came out of that situation and a lot of bad. But overall, it had major repercussions.
Major
repercussions.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to St. Wadowicks. The church is changing. We are becoming more contemporary and more progressive. And to prove it, we have a visiting member of the clergy who embodies that approach, which I'm sure you'll find is really groovy. He has had a lot of success with the young people in his area, and I myself have been getting down with the local youth, and a statement will be issued today. But in the meantime, please put your hands together and welcome Snoop Dogg Collar.
Alright, blood? Try again, blood. A little bit old for it, innit? Now then, the first thing to tell you, we're changing this from a happy clappy church to a happy slappy one. You get me? Let's do this week's notices. Come on, blood. Alright, Vic? Yeah, whatever. So, first things first. Wednesday, the jumbo sale will now be known as a rumble sale. You get me? Thursday, Whisk Drive is going to be a drive-by. Now, before we sing our first song, Joy Ride With Me, there's two other things you need to know. The Mothers' Union is now going to be known as the Mofo Union. And no longer will this be a traditional Methodist church, but a Crystal Methodist church, all right? Right, let's get down on our knees, pray it, brothers and sisters. Take it away, Vic.
How refreshing. Well, before we sing our first song, let us say that traditional prayer which has so much of the Christian ethos in it.
In it?
Our Father,
Who is in prison, mother knows not his name.
thy kingdom come.
Thy shoplifting be done in JJB Sports, but not in Waterstones.
Give us this day
Our welfare bread.
and forgive us.
Our ASBOs, as we happily slap those who give evidence against us.
Lead us not into
Employment.
but deliver us.
Free housing.
For thine is the kingdom
The Burberry and Adidas.
forever and ever.
Safe. Steve, I thought you did really well there, mate. I mean, considering that you're Jewish. Oh, it's not funny. He is Jewish, you know. So, no, we were. Excuse me, sorry. If anyone's not warm enough, I'll turn it up. We were going to do a sketch about two rabbis, but Steve, you heard someone else was going to do it, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a tip off. So who is it?
Who?
Your much vaunted special guest. Who is it?
Oh, I'll give you a clue. She was once a tiger, she's a tiger. She rode a boat across the ocean. She was once married to one of the Bee Gees.
Yeah.
And, well, final clue, she appeared live on stage at Wembley with Take That last year.
Really?
Yep.
You got her?
Yep.
Susan Boyle.
No, Steve. Look, I booked a car to pick her up. In fact, she's such a big star, I booked her a stretch limo.
Oh, great. I suppose I'm paying for that, am I?
Look, we agreed you'd fund everything, I do the logistics, and frankly, my friend, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have all that money.
Oh, yeah. What was that other great job you got for us?
Well, the ad said 2 men wanted for light housework.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how we ended up on Portland Bill for a month.
Never could get to sleep that light on.
Off.
On. Off. Anyway, look, we're here now, back where we wanted to be, handing out flyers and getting some lovely people in, and others too. And we're just giving out flyers in the courtyard and just, you know, seeing the Flyermen go about their business and the bonhomie that exists and the camaraderie between the Flyermen. It's great.
You got pal in me, and you got friend in me. You got some troubles.
Flyerman2, nothing better to do. Here we go, there's one for you.
For so many reasons, a man
Flyerman2.
calls his... Hello, Larry.
How are you, Harry?
Enjoying the fest?
Oh, it's really the best.
Got lots of flyers?
Yes.
Found any buyers?
Packing them in.
I saw some in the bin.
No, not mine. My shows are just fine.
Well, tell me, what's hot? What have you got?
Adam Bloom at the Assembly Room, Norman Pace at the Nidri Space, Cannon and Ball at the Summer Hall, Russell Brand at the Pleasance Grand, not forgetting Jimmy Carr at the Meadows Bar. My shows are so funny, we'll take all the money.
No, these days they want serious plays. Kathy Burke at the Kurk, Eleanor Bron at the Tron, Will Mellor, Pleasant Cellar, Matthew Kelly, Underbelly, production of Rent at the Spiegel Tent. So I think you'll agree the top salesman's me.
My shows are bankers.
What, with those Flyerman?
Loving the fest.
It's really the best.
Catch you around.
See you in town.
Mind how you go.
Sell every show.
Arrogant dick.
Smug little prick.
got a friend in me.
Now, we asked, can we just have a show of hands if you're actually living in Scotland? You're Scottish living in Scotland. Just, don't be embarrassed, just put your hands up. Okay. Quite a few of you. Okay, independence, yes or no? Yes, anybody for no? Okay, you two stay where you are, exactly. Make sure there's a gap between the two of them. Well, we found the hot topic this year is Scottish independence, isn't it?
Yes, because of course next September the Scots will go to the polls.
The Poles, who will no doubt be here to rebuild Hadrian's Wall.
Interesting choice of date. Next September is the 700th anniversary of the Battle of Bannockburn.
Not like you're looking for a fight or anything.
But what will independence actually mean?
Well, for one thing, it means Scotland will have to have its own nuclear missile capability. We understand they've engaged the same company who put the tram lines into Princes Street, which means it will take 15 years and have a range of just under 2 miles.
Of course, as well, the Scots will have to hand their pound back.
That's really not going to happen, is it?
But the biggest change will really be in the health service.
Yes.
Because, of course, it will no longer be the NHS, but the Scottish Health Independent Treatment Executive.
Shite, for sure.
Who will be looking for innovative ways to save money.
Right, next, please. Oh, good afternoon. Do take a seat. Welcome, welcome.
Oh, you're not my usual doctor.
No, my name is Harriet. I'm doing a job swap with Dr. Proctor. He's looking after Mrs. McTavish. Her pussy had a wee stroke in the night, I'm afraid. Now, Mr.
Fenton.
Fenton!
Yes.
Now, let me just have a look at your notes here, if I may, just to update myself with the records. Thank you very much. Oh, I see you won your very long battle with anorexia. Now, we also prescribe something to keep your hair in. Oh, a plastic bag. Now, Mr. Fenton, I just need to ask you a few questions about your family history, if that's all right with you, if I may. Thank you. So, is there any history of tapeworms?
No.
Fleas?
No.
Ticks?
No.
Mites?
No.
Mange?
Pardon?
Distemper?
I beg your pardon?
Do you take regular exercise?
Yeah, I like to go on long walks.
Good boy, I bet you love that, don't you, eh? Yeah. Any scabies?
No.
Rabies?
No.
Babies?
No, the wife and I decided not to.
Ah, so you're here to be spayed?
No, absolutely not.
Well, I don't understand. I mean, you've got a nice glossy nose there, a shiny coat, good firm balls. 3 of them. Just, Mr. Fenton, what are you doing here? I don't understand it.
Well, I've got to that stage in my life where, you know, I have to worry about things. There's a lot in the news about men's health, so I've come here for a prostate examination, and quite frankly, I'm not looking forward to it.
Yes, well, wouldn't it be the highlight of my day, Mr. Fenton? I'm going to tell you. But, and it's a very big but, it's a very good thing you're doing at your age, may I say.
Yes, but it's become obvious to me that you're not a doctor at all. You're a vet, so if you'll excuse
Come back here, sit!
You're not a doctor, are you? You are a vet, so if you'll...
Stay! Good boy. Now, Mr. Fenton, under the new shite initiative... Heel. Under the new shite initiative, we're doing a job swap between doctors... Look, there's a gown just behind the curtain. Go and pop it on, will you? Go and fetch. Now, Mr. Fenton, let me explain. We've read all the manuals, I've looked at the DVDs, we've done some practice on some humans, on some animals, we've done well, even on some dummies, dare I say, and there's absolutely nothing to worry about because we know exactly what we're doing. Why? Only last week I had a newsagent and an Alsatian with exactly the same problem. I had to remove a pair of testicles with only a rubber band and a lump of sugar. Well, not so much as a murmur. If only the Alsatian had been as easy as the newsagent. I even inseminated a herd of cattle last week. Well, the bull was asleep, you see. No, that's my wee vet's joke there. My wee vet's joke, Mr. Fenton. So, as I say, you've got no need to worry. Everything's absolutely fine. I'll just get myself ready for the procedure. I've done it many times before. No need to worry. I know exactly where to go in. I know where to come out, I know what to do while I'm in there, and where to go and what to do, exactly. So there's absolutely no need to worry, Mr. Fenton. do come back. So, if you'd like to bend over, we'll get on with the procedure.
You're fucking barking!
Mr. Fenton! Fenton! Jesus Christ, Fenton, come back! Don't you love YouTube, eh? Can you have the house lights on a second, please, Max? I just want to know, do you all actually know each other? I mean, it'd be a hell of a coincidence, wouldn't it, really? You know, you come to a show like this, and we found this, that people look around the audience and think there's some people I'd like to know here, and there's others perhaps I wouldn't. And, but, you know, overall, you then go away, you never meet again, and it's really sad. So, I'm going to count to 3, and what I'd like you to do is, bless you, what I'd like you to do is stand up, turn around, and shake hands with everybody, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3, go! Come on, quickly, turn up, turn around, shake hands. Okay, right. When I said stand up and turn around, I didn't say go across the aisle, did I? So I just was thinking, and actually, you all failed really because you stood up and the person behind. Yeah, exactly. It's always lovely to see the people in the back row stand up and go, I'm not going to stand up, I'm not going to be fooled by that one. Anyway. Thanks, Max. You know that whole thing, I've had that.
What's that?
A camera down the private and a finger up the
rectum?
Didn't do me any good, mate.
I told you not to go to those clubs, haven't I?
Look, Steve, I'm a single man now. And there's a lot of women out there, a lot of dates. You've got a bit of fluff on your stomach.
Thanks
It's just
very
one,
much.
thank you. There's a lot of women single, you know, women and dates out. You've got a bit more there as well.
I'm shedding, I'm molting. Yeah, well, don't I know it? How many rehearsals have you missed because you're out on yet another date?
Oh, Steve, these women, they all want sex badly.
You're the man to give it to.
Anyway, there's a lot of companies these days you can approach, and I've been to some. One of them hasn't come back to me, actually.
Who's that?
Screwfix. And I got turned down by eHarmony.com.
How do you manage that?
Well, when it said on the form, what do you like to see in a woman, apparently my penis is not acceptable.
So I've heard.
Anyway, there's all sorts of forms of dating now. There's singles bars, online dating, speed dating.
And for men your age, there's carbon dating.
I've got to tell you, ladies, I'm very upset with you because some of you lie. You put pictures on your websites that must have been taken years ago. Right, look, only the other week I went out with this woman. I met her at a restaurant. I got there first. And when she walked in, I thought, babe!
Really?
Yeah, have you seen the film? Anyway, after a couple of drinks, she started getting a bit randy. She started playing footsie with me.
Really?
Yeah.
Footsie?
Yeah.
What happened then?
I got lasagna. Yeah. She got toad in the hole. Anyway, a couple of drinks later, she revealed to me she'd once been a hooker.
A hooker?
Yes.
Did she give you any details?
Yeah, she said her name was Brian and she played for Harlequin.
Dave, you've got to be careful out there. It's a jungle, mate. You could catch something.
Hey?
Have you thought about getting insurance?
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 Insurance comparisons, how can I help you?
Hello. I've been looking around for what I want and I can't find it anywhere.
Right, well that's why we're here, sir. What sort of policy are you looking for?
I'd like to insure my sex life.
Right, I just need to ask you a few questions if I may. Can I take your name?
Why? What's wrong with yours?
I need to enter something.
I know how you feel. That's why I'm ringing. The name's Churchill.
Ah, yes. Now, can I ask you, how would you describe your sex life?
Infrequently.
Right, would that be one word or two, sir? Can you tell me, where are you living at the moment?
Well, at the moment, I'm staying in Edinburgh.
Ah, have you tried Scottish widows?
Yes, but she said she wanted to wait till after the funeral.
Well, we do have a number of policies from different companies to cover all eventualities. Can I ask you, are you married?
Yes.
And your wife?
Yes, she's married too.
The most popular package we find for a married couple is Standard Life.
Oh, well, you see, it's not quite as simple as that. You see, I have a mistress.
Ah, well in that case you'll be looking for mutual trust.
Well, out of the two of them, I'm not sure which one I like best.
Go compare.
I might want to keep both of them.
Oh, more than.
What about?
Yes.
What about if
Yeah.
I wanted to hire an escort for the evening?
No problem. Car rental, I'll put you straight through.
No, you don't understand. I mean a professional lady of the night.
Ah, now that would be commercial union. Is it, can I ask you seem to be quite an adventurous man. Is it just women that you fancy, or do you like people of the same orientation as you?
Are you suggesting his cocks?
No, confused.com.
You seem to have a policy to cover everything.
Well, we do find it prudential to do so, sir. Yes. Look, can I ask you, have you told me everything? Is there anything you're missing here? Is there anything else that perhaps...
Well, what I want,
Yes.
what I really, really want,
Yes.
is a threesome
Yes.
with a barrister and a high-ranking army officer.
Legal and general. So can I ask you, have you ever had sexual feelings towards a meerkat at all?
Oh, please. That's a bit pervy even for me. I think I'll just stick to the wife.
Well, we find it leads to an equitable life.
Well, thank you very much.
It's been a privilege.
Is she here, yeah?
No, she's coming.
She's not coming, is she, Dave?
Yeah,
She's not coming.
She'll be here.
Dave, I've put a lot of money into this show. Financially, my arse is on the line, yeah? If you cock this up, I'm finished, I'm bankrupt. So please, for my sake, remember, yeah? Your cock up, my arse.
Hold it together, Steve. Hold it together. When have I ever let you down?
When have you let me down? The only reason I'm doing this show is that you said you'd raise all the money for
Yeah, I
it.
did.
Yeah, by selling my stuff while I was away. That vase.
Oh, a bloody vase.
That vase was a family heirloom. It was priceless.
No, it wasn't. I got 26 quid for it.
A great sentimental value.
How can you get sentimental over 26 bloody pounds? All right, it's Lulu. Lulu is coming to close the show. Your money's safe.
Lulu,
Yes.
is she here yet?
No, she's probably down the bookies.
Does she gamble?
Have you heard her latest album? Look, can we do the topical stuff now? Are you happy? All right?
Lulu?
Yes, Lulu. Ladies and gentlemen, over the last couple of years, there's been a lot in the news. There's been the phone hacking scandal, the Leveson inquiry. Hugh Grant has managed to carve himself a whole new career as a result of all
How
that.
do you know Lulu?
Contacts, right?
All right.
Not to mention the Diamond Jubilee.
Yes, of course, there was the Diamond
I
Jubilee.
just said not to mention the Diamond Jubilee.
Okay. Well, there was a Jimmy Savile scandal.
Oh yes, Operation U-Tree. Last thing you want to hear on your front door, isn't it?
So many celebrities were implicated in that.
Stuart Hall,
Jimmy Tarbuck,
Rolf Harris,
Freddie Starr,
Rolf Harris again,
DLT.
But you know, it's one thing that's good that's come out of that is it's going to be an amazing pantomime in prison this Christmas.
Oh, no, it isn't.
Oh yes, it is. Watch out, he's behind you. But it has had other implications. Apple had to cancel the launch of their new children's product, saying, "How can I bring out a product called iTouch Kids?"
But I suppose the biggest piece of news was the Pope. Pope Benedict retiring after only 8 years in service.
Pulling out early, as any good Catholic man should.
As ever, there was some mystery that surrounded the conclave.
Yeah, what exactly happened?
Well, the cardinals get locked away,
Those that haven't been already.
and they sit and they contemplate with each other, and they go through round by round by round until there are only 2 cardinals left.
Yeah, I read about it, and it said they get up very early in the morning, they have breakfast, then they go to prayers, then they celebrate Mass, and then they sort of spend the day in debate. So it's breakfast, prayers, Mass, debate. Then what happens? There's only a couple left, they knock one out, and the white stuff comes out the chimney.
Smoke.
No, I gave up years ago.
But this time, there was complete deadlock. With only 2 left, nobody could decide between them.
Who was that?
It was Cardinals Bergoglio and Siccola.
Bless you. Right, we've been here for 2 days now. We talked about football. We need to decide which one of us is going to be the Pope, see?
I think it should have been me.
No, it should definitely be me.
What are you doing?
What?
You're meant to be Argentinian. You're meant to have a Spanish accent.
Can't do one. Carry on, they'll never realise. I reckon should definitely be me, see?
It cannot be you.
Why's that then?
Well, you're not a Vatican insider like me. You're a reformer. And you come from Argentina, apparently.
In Cordoba, where I was born. And the llamas roam around over the lush pampas. And in Buenos Aires, in my parish, everybody reckons, see, that I've got the right attributes to be Pope. And besides, how can it be you with a name like yours?
What do you mean?
Well, I asked you, Pope Siccola.
Hey, things go better with Pope.
That's such a shame.
You wrote it.
Anyway, I reckon should definitely be me, see?
Well, we got to decide, because we only got the white smoke left, and Lazio, they play at home tonight, and I got a ticket.
Well, what are we going to do?
What are we going to do?
I don't know. I know I look like the monk from the back, don't worry about it.
I got an idea.
What's that then?
We arm wrestle.
Are you crackers, man? There's a billion people out there waiting for the result coming out of the conclave, and you're suggesting an arm wrestle? It's an absolute disgrace and an insult to the Roman